Hello folks, Scott here with my Love from Lizi August 2017 card kit. This is a great card kit, lots of supplies in this kit as usual with the Love from Lizi kits. I did an unboxing last weekend so you can look at that if you'd like. I really like this stamp set a lot. It's a great stamp set. The lips are terrific. I really like the cherry and the leaf. Nice banner. A couple of sentiments. I found the sentiments in this kit to be a little confusing. I don't know if it's confusing is the right word, but they felt more like sentiments for a scrapbook than a card. This is a nice grace. Bless the food before us, the family beside us, the love between us. Amen. Very nice. This is all kind of a food-oriented kit. This is cooking with love, provides food for the soul. So, odd sentiment. It's also, I find it extremely hard to read. The very small letters there are extremely hard to read. Provides food is really hard to read. I can see this grace on a Thanksgiving scrapbook page with pictures from your Thanksgiving dinner, but I found them a little hard to work with as far as cards go. So you know me, of course, I'll bring in my own sentiments and make cards with that. I trimmed the A4 cardstock, which is the European cardstock, just trimmed a ½ inch of it off of the ends, the long ends of it, and cut them in half and made them A2 cards. They actually come out to 5.5 by 4 1/8. So really 1/8 off from a regular A2 card. I made card bases out of all of these. Now, my goal is to use as many pieces as possible from the kit in my 10 cards. Of course, I have to use my own adhesive and ink pads. I also used a little white cardstock and a little black cardstock, a little dark red cardstock, and I had this great Staples Ivory 110-pound cardstock. This is really inexpensive, like $15 for a 250 ream, that matches so closely with the off-white cardstock in the kit. So I used this cardstock quite a bit, mounted all of the vellum pieces onto this. So first off, we have this home cooking card. This was one of the vellum pieces that was very easy to read, a really nice image, home cooking on the front. I mounted the vellum onto the Staples Ivory cardstock using my Stick-It adhesive on the back. This is mounted on the Gold Glimmer cardstock, and then that's all mounted on a little piece of black for a mat. These are the peel-offs from the kit, the chocolate peel-offs. This is a little burlap ribbon and the velvet ribbon. I like those together. They matched beautifully, the burlap and the velvet ribbon. That's all mounted on this great apple pie pattern paper, and then mounted on the dark red card base. Of course, home cooking isn't enough for me, so inside you get You Bake Me Hot. There's a couple of hearts from the stamp set. This is my first card. Home cooking, very fun. I love the red in this kit. I am a big fan of red, and so this kit was certainly right up my alley. Now, what's interesting about these larger vellum pieces is that this large piece here is 6 inches wide. So in order for it to fit on a 5.5 inch card, you're going to lose something on there. This is basically why I didn't use this piece, because I could certainly print on it. But it's 6 inches wide. Once you cut a ½ inch off of that, you've almost lost your entire frame on that. So there was another large vellum piece in the set. That was the apron with Happiness is Homemade. I ended up cutting the apron and the banner out of the vellum because that gingham tablecloth is just not a very good color back there. There was a gingham pattern paper in the kit, had much better color than that. I cut the apron and the banner with the Happiness is Homemade out of the vellum. Mounted that on the ivory cardstock. Put that all on top of the great red and white gingham tablecloth pattern paper and little strips of the cherry pattern paper at the top and bottom. This is all mounted, of course, on one of the off-white card bases. Made with Love. This is the die from the kit. I did cut that die 4 times out of black cardstock and once out of the gold glimmer specialty paper. I was just going to put that up there, but it looked a little naked. So I mounted that on top of one of the round cork tags, mounted that on the glitter specialty paper, it's on the back there, and then took one of the wood veneer die cut pieces, this is the house with the heart in it, and mounted that as well. Kind of made a whole, almost a gigantic sentiment on this card. I took the twine from the kit, tied it around the waist of the apron to be the ties on the apron. This is a fun card. I'm not sure what occasion I would send this out as a card. Maybe if I gave somebody a pound of cake or a loaf of banana bread or something, include this as a card along with some baked goods. That would be nice. No sentiment inside. This is it. Made with Love. Happiness is homemade. This, of course, is mounted up on foam tape. Nice dimension on this card. I love the little twine over here and the cherries that echo the pattern on the apron. So card number 3, I'm starting to do my own sentiments. So I love this little image of a lady at the kitchen counter with a cookbook in front of her, an egg beater in her hand. I'm not quite sure she knows exactly what she's doing, so I put, I'd bake you a cake today if I knew how to work an oven. Happy birthday. So here's a birthday card that works very well with the kit. I, of course, mounted the vellum on the ivory cardstock from my stash, mounted that on the gingham tablecloth, mounted that on the black and white tile pattern paper. That's all on top of, this is the red glimmer specialty paper. Looks very nice. The brown peel-offs outline that. The brown peel-offs outline the sentiment here, which is printed on the ivory cardstock again. The sentiment, this is, the font is Lucida Calligraphy. This is a great happy birthday card. So there's the purpose for a card. I'd bake you a cake today if I knew how to work an oven. I hope I'm not being misogynistic or anything there. Trust me, I live in New York City. There are so many people that don't know how to use an oven. Anyway, a great happy birthday card. This is on the off-white card base. Now, this vellum piece I really liked, but I found it so difficult to read. It says, life is what you bake it, but that what is so hard to make out. Since I couldn't really read that sentiment on the mixer, I decided to go in and create one on my own. So I found a mixer image online, added my text to it. Live a little, lick the bowl. Live a little, lick the bowl. This is very easy to read. A great fun card. I, of course, printed this up at work on my laser printer so I could do the deco foil on top. Very nice, great shine. I really enjoy working with the deco foil. I hope nobody at work turns me in. That's mounted, of course, on the ivory cardstock, outlined with the chocolate peel-offs. That's mounted on top of that mint pattern paper with all of the utensils going up and down. Again, that burlap and velvet ribbon wrapped around. I did not waste this behind here. These stop right here, so I only used little bits on the two ends. Of course, the chocolate peel-offs outline the mint cardstock. That's mounted on top of that great dark food advertisement pattern paper, and that's all mounted then on the mint card base. A few of the sequins from the sequin mix finishes this out. Live a little, lick the bowl. Now, this doesn't have anything inside. This could easily be a birthday card. This could be used for a variety of occasions. Live a little, Lick the bowl. The fonts on this card. The script on the top is script MT bold, and the Lick the Bowl font is Goudy Heavy Face BT. Those are my fonts I used on this. Great fun. You could do the same thing in black with white without having to necessarily foil it. Great fun card. So our next card, we got a magnet in the card kit this month. So I decided to create a magnet. This would be another card that would go along great with some baked goods or something. But I figured, what kind of a magnet would you like hanging on your refrigerator? And a Kiss the Cook magnet works good for me. So I used the sentiments, both of the sentiments from the kit, the banner stamp from the kit, the lip stamp from the kit. This is all on the magnet. I trimmed off the edges of the mixer vellum and mounted that here. This is my ivory cardstock. The lips are stamped in fired brick oxide ink and then embossed with clear embossing. Kiss the Cook, that's embossed and stamped in Simon Says Stamp intense black ink. A little bit of the peel-offs for the edges. This is a nice little magnet, good for your fridge. That, of course, goes on top of this card, where the background is the polka dot and the stripe pattern paper. This, of course, is the banner from the stamp kit. Made with Love is stamped again in that fired brick oxide ink and embossed. This is a little frame cut out from the bronze glimmer paper. This is a nice, fun card. This is all mounted on the black card base. Kiss the Cook. It's made with love. I did bury the magnet. You can see a magnet behind here. You can see the edges a little bit, but I buried that behind that center stripe. This is just a piece of magnet, an extra piece of magnet I had from my die cut storage. This uses up both of the sentiments from the stamp kit, Kiss the Cook and Made with Love. I really like the polka dots and the stripes together. I think that's a lot of fun. This is cut out, of course, with my Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle dies. Kiss the Cook. There's your refrigerator magnet. So we're still playing with some vellum pieces here. They had that great vellum piece of the older lady cooking. I really like that. And I figured a sympathy card of some kind would be very appropriate. So sorry, sometimes I bake mistakes. Again, the vellum piece is mounted on the ivory cardstock. This is printed on the ivory cardstock. The font here is marker felt. A few sequins. This is the craft heart sticker from the kit, mounted on the glitter specialty paper, and then fussy cut around that for a little edge. All of these are the chocolate peel-offs. This is all mounted on top of the mint cardstock that I took the little silverware stamp and created a little pattern on the edges for that of the silverware stamp. I stamped those in the cracked pistachio oxide ink and then colored the handles with a very pale tan of my alcohol markers to cover the handles. Gave them a little bit of extra dimension there. Sorry, sometimes I make mistakes on a mint card. No red on that whatsoever. So I still have the cherry stamp to use. So this is what we come up with for the cherries. I love you, Cherry, much. This is all mounted on white cardstock. This is the border stamp from the kit, colored with alcohol markers. I colored this with my alcohol markers and used the chameleon pen, the green chameleon pen, to color the leaves. This is all fussy cut and mounted up on foam tape. I love you, Cherry, much. That's mounted on a little piece of black for a mat. Some of the striped pattern paper for the top and bottom edges, all mounted on the dark red cardstock. I love you, Cherry, much. This is great fun. There's so many puns that you can use with cherries that I will probably use this cherry stamp quite a bit. I did add some, you can see that nice shine. I did add some glossy accents to the top of the cherries. Gives it great shine. This is a really pretty card. I love the border stamp along with the cherries. I think it's great, great fun. I love you, Cherry, much. So moving right along, this card kind of speaks for itself. keep calm, and kiss me. On my desk, literally, is a keep calm and carry on. There's an old postcard from someone, keep calm and carry on. I saw this, I saw the lips, I was like, this is kind of a match made in heaven. Keep calm and kiss me. The lips stamped again in that fired brick oxide ink and a little clear embossing on top of that. This is matted on my dark red cardstock and a little wink of Stella on it to give it a little glitter. This is all on that light yellow card base. These are the golden rhinestones in the kit in various sizes. I thought those added a nice touch to this card. Keep calm and kiss me. There's a love me card. There's a good reason to send that. Everybody needs a good kiss. And there's that nice shine on the lips. So nice wet kiss for you. Keep calm and kiss me. That's card number 8. Now here's a great one. A welcome home card. So the stamp kit had those triangles that are like quilt squares or quilt triangles. So I stamped all of the triangles on cardstock, pattern cardstock. You can see the red has the checkerboard, the stripe has the stripe, the strawberries has the little dotted strawberries, the centerpiece has those little doily pieces, and I created my own little quilt on the top of this card. A welcome home. This is like a new home card with one of the veneer die cuts of a house, a little touch of twine underneath it just in a knot. I literally cut all of these pieces out in their triangles and then assembled this all together on my card base. Welcome home, a nice new home card with a quilt as a background. This came out much better than I thought it would. I was worried that the patterns wouldn't play well with each other. A little bit of a pinwheel quilt pattern. Welcome home. I really like this card a lot. I did color the top of the wood veneer house with some Delicata gold ink from my Delicata gold ink pad. Great fun. Welcome home. Cut out on my silhouette. The sentiment is in the sign painter font. It's all printed on my ivory cardstock and cut out with my silhouette. Welcome home. A really nice, I like this card more than I thought I would. Once it all came together, I was very pleased. I realize it's not the season, but I couldn't resist, so Cherry Christmas. I actually had these little Santa hats in my silhouette image stash I'd used on a Christmas card in the past, and fit perfectly on these little cherries. So I thought I loved this cherry pattern paper, the red and the green and the black. I loved that pattern paper. It reminded me of Christmas. So I decided I had to have a Christmas card. And of course, instead of Merry Christmas, we can say Cherry Christmas. I colored the cherries and leaves with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. Of course, the hats and the sentiment are from my Silhouettes image stash. This used to say Merry Christmas, but I swapped it around so it would say Cherry Christmas. A little glitter on everything here. Great fun. I like this card a lot. It's a couple of strips of the gold glimmer paper down the sides, all mounted on the black card base. Cherry Christmas. I realize it's not the season, but I thought this was great fun. It makes me giggle. So those are my 10 cards. I actually created a little bonus project this week as well. Let's cook something special today, which is one of the vellum pieces from the set. I loved this piece very much, but it made no sense to me as a card. Right. This was the only real vellum piece that had the strawberries and the little yellow flowers that matched that pattern paper. There's some of the chocolate peel-offs. I used one of my border punches to punch this little scallop border with the hearts in it. So this is the book plate from the kit with favorite recipes printed on the little star paper behind it. This is bradded in. This is some black chipboard that I had in my stash. A little washi tape on the side, a couple of grommets, and some twine to bind the whole thing together. There are 12 pages inside. These are 4x6 index cards. You can fill these in. You can type them up, whichever you would like. I figure I can give this, these pop in and out real easy. Just did little slits in the black cardstock. I figure I can give this, I can put my recipes in it and give this as a gift to someone that says Scott's favorite recipes. I could give it to a friend and let them fill it up with their recipes. So I would put like Jennifer and Keith's favorite recipes. And this becomes a nice little gift. I based this all on half a sheet of cardstock. All these black pieces of cardstock in here are 8.5 by 5.5. The cover is a little bit larger all the way around. I created a little hinge here. Great fun. I like this a lot. I could not finish this card kit and not use this vellum piece. I liked it so much. So this is what I did with it. Created a little special cookbook of favorite recipes. I think this kit lent itself especially well to items like this. Not necessarily cards, but other things, scrapbook pages, recipe cards, other things, not necessarily cards only. So that's my kit for the month, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. I do have a good amount of supplies. I did not get to those black chalkboard tags. I didn't get to the black chalkboard tags. I have those left. I have plenty of sequins left. I'm sorry I didn't do a shaker card this month, but nothing screamed shaker at me. I only used the autumn red crystal drops, a couple of spots here and there. I have lots of that beautiful ribbon left, a good amount of the pattern paper left, some of the specialty paper. Love those peel-offs, and of course, my great green chameleon pen. Plenty of leftovers this month. I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. If you did, please like me, list me, pin me, post me, share me with all your friends, and happy crafting!